Welcome to LA County Public Works and LA County Workforce Development and Aging and Community Services. And today we're going to talk to you about, let's boil it down to just the real purpose is to help you navigate LA County contracting and tap into all of the money that we are awarding to contractors. And we're talking over billions of dollars across a wide variety of services. So it pays to know how to do that, and then also along that path towards getting to that solicitation and going through that process, where are the pitfalls, and then what we want to talk about today are what are the benefits of some of the things that you really need to know, especially as a DBE. And how do the DBEs fit in with the certifications that Los Angeles County has? And also, what type of federally funded programs do we have coming up? And what have we done in the past? And where are we at now, so you can get a sense of the DBEs that we're already using. And you may not think of Los Angeles County as using a lot of federally funded projects with DBE goals, but we already have them. They're in place. And there's going to be many more coming. And so we have some specialists here that will be able to talk in length about that. And there really is some great opportunities, especially with a lot of the infrastructure projects coming up, and on top of the fact that we already have a ton of construction, and not just construction, but services in general. We have so many services, we need help with everything. So before I get to our specialists here, I want you to remember there's 3 steps. The first one is you have to be registered as a county vendor. And you can't do anything else until you actually do that. It's a very simple process. You just go to that website and you sign up. If you need any help, then there's a number to help you do that, or you can contact us and we can direct you to the right person. And once you go through that process, then you're going to want to connect with the Workforce Development, Aging and Community Services Department, which will soon be changing. They're going to be more of an economic department, and they're going to be in charge of a lot of different things, but in particular, I think you'll be interested in some of the support services they provide and the certifications, which are really important, and especially connecting how DBEs are related or overlap with some of the certifications that LA County already recognizes. And so with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Jessica Mireles, and she's from Workforce Development, Aging and Community Services, soon to be Department of Economic Opportunity.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so as Robert said, we buy everything. What does the county buy? Everything. Everything from A to Z. It runs the gambit. It is pretty vast. Since we have a small group today, I do want to find out how many of you are already certified by an agency, any government agency? Certified. What are you certified as? Small business? Oh, he's got all the letters. He's got all 3. All right. Can we do better? SBE and DBE. Those are great. These are great first starts. So in our office, what we do is we have our small business concierge. We administer the LA County certification programs. There are 7. And we do recognition and reciprocity with a ton of other government agencies. Who are you SBE certified by? State of California, DGS. We accept them. Who are you DVBE certified by? Sorry?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you? Oh.
Sorry, it's not my department.
It's SDB, OSB, maybe from U.S. Veterans Affairs, or possibly even DGS from the state, right? We recognize both of those. Certifications that give you reciprocity between agencies, and I'm sorry, I am yelling quite a bit. I'm going to hold this down. They are so important to invest your time in because it's going to give you access to different opportunities across other government agencies. So this is an overview of all of our services. I specifically serve in the Procurement Technical Assistance Center and in LA County certification. So if you're a new business, you want concierge. This is, as Robert mentioned, we are changing our department. So I have, a mask from my Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. I have my WEDAX badge, and then starting in about 2 weeks, I'm not going to be either of those departments, and I'm going to be with a newly formed department, which is the Department of Economic Opportunity. Let's go ahead and click to the first one. So we were previously DCBA, we're now in WEDAX, and really this is all in alignment to get you into a position where we're consolidating all of our economic programming so that we offer better services to businesses who are interested in doing business with the county or need other types of support services. This is a temporary transition. July 1st, we'll announce our formal department name, but you guys are getting a sneak peek, so this is DEO. Okay, so I already kind of mentioned this, the concierge. Sorry, we're going to go through this really quickly. Certifications. Procurement Technical Assistance Center. We had an actual speaker up at the main room. His name was Enrique Gonzalez. He is the program manager over the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. That is a nationwide free service to get you connected to different counseling services that can help you find opportunities, register your business with government agencies, and get certified across different platforms. We do assist with county as well. You do have to schedule an appointment, and again, it is free. So we are administered by the Defense Logistics Agency. There's 8 in California and 1 in LA County, and you do have to book an appointment. So I think this will be available, right, to all the guests? Okay, perfect. So you guys can book online from that link, and if you have any questions about our platform, we can go ahead and address them. Okay, really what we're here to do is to bridge a gap between buyer and supplier. How do we get you connected to the actual opportunities? Where are the contracts that you need to be looking for that are in your specific industry? How can we help you get in front of the buyers? How can we help you with the federal small business offices? How can we connect you to GSA schedules or CMAS or, for the county, master agreements? There are a ton of master agreements that are continuous that have a gambit of services, everything from janitorial to landscape to graphic and media art to culturally sensitive educational campaigns. It's literally everything. This is a look at certification across just 3 platforms. These are all LA County here on the right. There are a lot to navigate, and we don't expect you to navigate them alone. So absolutely get in touch with our office. I'm going to go into how DBEs kind of feed into our programming, and the next slide, it'll cover all of our benefits. So the preference programs are our primary programs that we offer. They all carry a 15% bid price reduction, meaning that your bid, when you submit it, is artificially lowered by up to 15% to make it more competitive with other agencies. There's also a 25% utilization goal for our small business, which is our local small business enterprise. If you're DGS certified, you can apply for the LSBE as long as you're in LA County. If you're Metro SBE certified, you can apply for LSBE as long as you're in LA County. If you are federally certified as a small business, either WOSB or economically disadvantaged or DBE, you can still participate in one of our other programs. We do have a 3% utilization goal, so that means 1/4 of county contract dollars or 3% of our dollars should be going back into the hands of these businesses. We are monitoring this. We are measuring how well we are doing. And we haven't quite hit the 25%, I'll be very honest. We have increased substantially since 2016 when this program really started, but we're not quite there yet. And we really need to onboard more businesses that qualify to meet that goal. It also has, the LSBE also carries a 15-day prompt payment, which means you get 15-day net pay, which is substantially quicker than most any other government agency out there. I think the best I've seen is 20 to 25 days, and it's a tough one. It's a tough sell. Okay, so community business enterprise. This is where we categorize and kind of certify all of our other types of businesses that don't get that preference, but do carry a combined 25% utilization solicitation goal, meaning we want to see you all participating on actual solicitations throughout the county. It is combined, so it's not measured individually, which is why it's under the umbrella of community business enterprise. We recently added the LGBTQ business enterprise, and if you are already DBE certified, you can apply all from one place once you are registered as a county vendor. When you apply, all you have to do is give us a copy of your DBE certification with Metro, with Caltrans, with whatever transportation agency you have, fast tracks you to approval. LSBE, we mirror the state's requirements, which is why we accept the state certification or Metro certification for our non-federally funded solicitations. So these are general county dollars that you can compete for using these, and it's a much smaller pool of vendors if it's an LSBE program. So if it's under $25,000, there is a simplified acquisition process. Essentially, that allows you to get more direct purchasing opportunities with fewer quotes needed to actually create the purchase. You do have to perform a commercial useful function. This is pretty much at every level of government. You are required to perform on the contracts. You can't be, you have to either manage, supervise the work. It has to be something within your kind of regular wheelhouse. You don't want to go after something that's completely outside of what you normally do. DBE, 51% owned and operated by a veteran that has gone through the certification process with either DGS or with the VA. We do recognize both those certifications, so as soon as you have them, you can apply online and give us a copy of your certification record, and again, fast tracks you to approval. Social enterprise, this is really rare. So this is the only certification that has a nonprofit participation goal. There is a couple ways to qualify. So these are all different ways. You only have to meet one definition. If you are certified as a green business by any government agency recognized in California, you would qualify as a social enterprise. If you are providing transitional jobs to a workforce that faces barriers, so long-term unemployed, low-income areas, HUD zone certified, all of those will qualify you. If you are certified as a B Corp by B Labs, there's a fee associated with that, but you would also qualify. If you are any business who has a common good as demonstrated through a published social mission statement, you do some sort of good. You give back to the community somehow, your business practices are somehow involved in creating a larger social benefit beyond just your profit margin, then you will likely qualify. We would require you to do an assessment. Do I have an assessment on the next one? No, okay. So there is a social impact assessment that's required that will ask you, how are you measuring how well you are contributing to that social good? But again, this is for nonprofit and for-profit businesses that meet any of these definitions. Community Business Enterprise Program. So this is where we measure who you are. This is where we capture this data on the back end for county contracting. Are you a minority-owned business? Are you a woman-owned business? You can apply online. There is some documentation that is required for MBE or WBE. We do recognize only the National Minority Council and National Women Council for certification. So if you are certified by either of those agencies, fast tracks for approval, meaning you don't have to give us your taxes. You don't have to give us copies of your corporate business filings. You will only be required to give us your certification record. LGBTQ, we only actually have, this is more of recognition, so same with DBE. These two are recognitions. So if you're certified through a transportation agency at the state or national level, then we will recognize that certification and fast track you. We do not do direct document review. So again, you have to get that certification through another agency, and through PTAC we can assist you with that process. But it sounds like a lot of you have some of those certifications, right? This is the definition for the state certification program. So if you're not DBE certified, you really want to take a look at this and try and see if you meet this definition, that you can get DBE certified through Caltrans. This is our documentation listing, and again, this is just a very high overview of what we request. We also reserve the right to do on-site visits if needed, and request additional documentation if there's some clarity issues. WebVend, so Robert mentioned it right away. You must be registered. You have to be registered. You will get assigned, it takes 5 days for them to assign you a vendor ID number. All you need is your EIN, your business contact information, a list of your descriptors. Super easy, it takes about 5 minutes. This is where you apply for certification, certified.lacounty.gov. This is where you would go upload a copy of your existing certification record. This is where you will go and provide other documents that are requested depending on the certification that you're trying to obtain with the county. This is where all 7 certifications are housed, so once you're registered, you will have access to this because you'll need to put in your vendor ID number, your EIN, and the email associated with your vendor account. All 3 things. Sorry, go ahead. And then this is the landing page. So this is just a screenshot of a testing site. This is a fake profile. But once you're Once you're in, this is essentially what you're seeing. You're going to update your business information, which most of it gets pre-populated from your vendor portal. You're going to add contacts. That way, multiple people can access your certification inbox here without needing to go through you directly. So you can add additional users. Document uploads, those are going to be depending on which certifications you've applied for, and then NAICS codes. So NAICS codes are really important because the county only uses commodity codes. Commodity codes don't really exist outside of the county as well. So if you want to be on the listing for a CBE using your disadvantaged business enterprise or your minority owned or your DBE, then you want to add NAICS codes to your profile so that when we distribute this listing, people know exactly what it is that you do. And these are important resources. So again, book an appointment. We can help you navigate all of this. It is free to do. We are the only LA County PTAC in the area, so you will find it easy to find us. Doing business with WEDAC, so this is our actual departmental website, the same way Public Works has their own departmental website where they post opportunities. We have procurement here. The general doing business and LA County vendor registration is probably one of the first stops you want to make. Doingbusiness.lacounty.gov houses all of our procurement information, so that 25%, that 3% that you're trying to access, it's all available here at doingbusiness.lacounty.gov. All right, and this is our contact info, is where our office is. Do we have time for questions? All right, I'm gonna bring up Keegan. All right. Oh, no applause, okay.
Thank you, Jessica. You did a great job. I'm here. My name is Keegan Fahey. I'm with LA County Public Works, and I represent our infrastructure program and our delivery of construction projects. Any contractors or service providers that do A&E services, type services? Anybody? 1, 2, 3? Okay, great. So just to give you an idea of what we've done, over the last 3 years, we've had over 17 projects with a contract value of $37 million, and our average DBE goal has been 16%. So that's equates to about $6 million in DBE contracting that we have successfully delivered in those past 3 years. Regarding our construction contracts, just on the construction contract delivery side, we also have A&E service contracts regarding preliminary plans, right-of-way acquisition, all those other ancillary services to get us to the construction phase. And just on our final DBE utilization goal on our construction contracts, we've been steadily increasing in line with the state overall goal of 22.2% now. So we are getting there, and we know we're ramping up because of the bill, the federal bill coming in. We know we're going to need more services with respect to A&E services as well as our construction contracts. To give you a heads up on what we're seeing coming out, next slide. These are a few of our transportation projects that we know of and we are aware of right now. They will be coming out in future months. We have some roadway work, we have some bridge repair work, and we have some bikeway facilities that we got federal monies for that we're obviously going to have those DBE goals associated with those. So a little bit coming out, and we know we're going to have a lot more once the federal bill kicks in. And again, that's relating to all our services. And like Jessica mentioned, it's going to be on our opportunities page, and we can go through that. But that's pretty much all I have regarding our infrastructure program. Overall, we have about $2.5 billion worth of work we got to get out probably in the next 3 to 5 years. You add on to that the federal money. There's going to be a need and a demand from LA County Public Works to get more service providers in, get more DBEs and subcontractors in. We do a fairly decent job of itemizing our bid items by task. Again, as Jessica mentioned, to provide that commercially useful function, or separating out the supplies and materials, or that DBE trucking that could be needed on our projects. So we really believe our goals are set fairly, and we should be able to get almost full utilization on our projects for the construction value. And that's really it. I'll turn it over to Robert.
Very good. All right, so started a little late, but I would like to give Keegan and Jessica the opportunity to answer any questions because they really are specialists in their field. What I was going to talk about is just navigating a little piece of our website, and mostly focused around subcontracting and letting the county and prime contractors who have are plan holders on projects, you'll be included on a list of subcontractors. And it's a good way to really market yourself, and it's a good start to get involved in the actual solicitation process once you've gone through those 2 steps. So I can go over that. I'll tell you, I've done it a million times. You can catch me probably two or three times later this month doing it. So before I do that, is there do you have any questions for Keegan or Jessica, since we have them here today?
We're here for you. Yes.
Are you a PTAC or no?
I am an LA County sponsored PTAC. So LA County's Office of Small Business hosts and receives Defense Logistics Agency money to do the free counseling services on behalf of DLA and DOD.
So if I'm in Ontario, San Bernardino.
Yeah, San Bernardino or Riverside also has a really good one. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can contact us. We try not to turn anyone away, but for regular scheduling, if you have questions about LA County, you can always reach out to us directly and we can help you navigate at least this component. But if you're talking about other federal dollars that you're trying to go after, then you would want to contact the closest PTAC to you, because you'll probably have more regular meetings.
Okay, anybody else? Lots of information, lots of certifications. I know it's impossible for it. I mean, if you can remember everything Jessica and Keegan just said, then I'd like to meet with you so you can show me how you do that. But I think what you should take away from that is we have so many options, so many certifications, that we're just trying to help so many different businesses, and there is a lot of overlap. It's really hard to navigate that, but it's not. It's only hard if you don't have an expert there to kind of help you, and we give you those resources to do that. And even to your question, so a lot of times we're focused on local businesses in LA County, but Keegan will tell you even on the federal projects, we're looking for, they go outside of the region expands, correct?
That's
to the
correct.
DBEs. So
When we are looking for contractors and checking our pool and setting our DBE goals, we are making sure we canvass Ventura, San Bernardino, Orange County, all the surrounding counties, so people can travel towards and do our work. So it's not just being local to LA County. We take a regional effort. We're not necessarily pulling people from Sacramento, but we're getting a good swath of contractors coming in throughout the region.
Oh, she's going to pass around the sign-in sheet for the PowerPoint. It has all of our contact information if you need it. We won't spam you with anything else beyond that. All right, so any questions? Yes? I promise I did not pay her to say that, but that's a perfect segue into what I was going to talk about. So if there's not any other questions, and again, I'll go quickly through this. So if there are, certainly Keegan and Jessica are open to you. Did you have another question before I get into that? Okay. So I'm just going to kind of zip through this. This is our website. This is as Jessica mentioned, there's the Do Business with LACounty.gov, and there's the Do Business with LA County Public Works website. And we have a lot of general information, but one of the biggest things we have on there are the opportunities. And with active, upcoming, and even awarded or closed, and that, why would you want that? Well, that gives you a good sense of what's going to come later on down in the future. And you can see, well, who got this last one and what kind of subs were they using. It's just good to be for research purposes. And I'm not going to go through how to find it on the website. You can always contact us and we can help you with that, but there's ways to filter and get through that information. I honestly would just search all so you capture everything. And so once you find something that's a good fit for you, but let's say you don't have rather the bonding capacity, or you don't have maybe you don't have the access to the workforce, whatever it is preventing you from going from the subcontractor level to the prime level. What we're here is really to help build those subcontractors into prime contractors, and because with more prime contractors come more subcontractors. And we're just trying to build up the economy that way. So once you find something that's good for you, can you go back? I'm sorry. Once you find something that's good for you and you click on that particular solicitation, it's going to bring up some information, and there are some areas that you need to pay particular attention to. But let me just say this: be very careful with this. You want to make sure that you take you really learn it and study it, because that in itself is putting you miles ahead of other people. They just want to skip through it. And you can easily be disqualified for a really simple mistake. So there's lots of areas to pay attention to, but what I want to show you here is this document section, and it gives you a little synopsis. But you click on documents, and then it takes you to the project registration. And from there, you do not want to click no thanks, continue to download, because then you lose. You want to go here to sign in, and then we get to know you. And you just enter your information in there, and that's saying, hey, I want to be a plan holder for this particular project. But as you do that, you can actually identify if you want to be a supplier, a subcontractor, or a prime on this particular project, and what type of service you provide. And in the notes, I usually tell people, write down the certifications that you currently have, even as a subcontractor. Because just because you're not getting the benefits a prime would get from those from the certifications, we have a very heavy push with the prime contractors to use these businesses that have these certifications, as well as local workers, targeted workers. We have a lot of economic development programs built around all these certifications, and it's not just best efforts, wink, wink, we tried, it's good. We have a full team that really hold people accountable, and we're looking for an upward trajectory and to really make an impact on people's lives at a very micro level to the individual. So we spent 30 years in jail, and then we got him a job in construction on one of our projects, to just flooding the local community around there with the construction build dollars. And so I'm going to leave you with this. Once you have the list and you're there, you've got your master list, you've got you've got all your big time prime contractors. You just want to pull in all this money, and then you've got your subcontractors. I don't imagine the prime contractors are just going to be, at any shortage of subcontractors. They probably have people they're already working with. But this is a good opportunity for you to market yourself and get yourself out there. And hopefully directly under the prime. You don't want to be, fourth down removed, fourth level tier. But if you have to, you can go ahead and do that. But I used to have to be careful with this. I used to say, go harass them, run after them. But really that annoys them, and they'll probably get nothing out of them. Approach them and develop a relationship with them. Become partners with them, and let them recognize your face. See them at these networking events. Have your capability statement. Show them what you've done. Sell yourself to them. And once you can do that, and you can say that I can do it at the lowest price or at a low price, but still with the highest quality. And and maybe they're willing to give you a chance. And if they are, great. If they're not, then that doesn't mean you give up. You just go on to the next one. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And we're lucky in that sense that LA County really has has great funding and great engineers like Keegan, and support staff like the rest of us, and support departments to really make sure that we're putting that money not just into building things, but we're using the money before the project is finished and redistributing it to the areas and the people that need it the most, including businesses like yours. We want to see you be the next huge prime contractor bringing subcontractors up. And So I won't read over any of this. You can kind of take a look at it, but it's just kind of some of the stuff I'd already said. I think for me, it's really about taking that initiative and looking at who the prime contractors are. What kind of work have they done in the past? Are you willing to do the research to see what type of people they've hired? And then being able to sell yourself to them and being consistent. I mean, being persistent without being annoying. And then the last thing here is this is a newsletter that we release every week. If you go to our website, do business with LA County Public Works, you just enter your email address right there, and once a week, that's it, once a week, you're going to get all of the new opportunities or contracts that are available within that last week, so you don't have to check it every day. And you have to kind of go through it and figure out which one's best for you. Again, they're all mixed up. We're talking about service contracts, professional contracts, construction contracts. And we are looking, actually, it's Keegan's idea, we're trying to find a way to differentiate so you can look at it and see right away, oh, this is good for me, this is a service contract. Or this is good for me, this is an infrastructure project, federally funded. So we're looking to make that a little bit easier for you. And at the very least, you'll have that, so you don't have to check the opportunities page each week. But you'll also get a lot of neat resources about just small businesses in general, funding, and the different types of help that are available to small businesses and individuals around this whole region, because it really is, it's gaining a lot of momentum, and it's a great opportunity to be a contractor looking to do government work. Just have to put a little bit of work in to learn how to do it. That's my personal number. And that email address is probably better, because then a whole group of people will be around that. And then if you wanted to talk to Keegan or his team, I could certainly connect you in some way. And then, of course, Jessica, I think, had her info on there. So with that, that's a very quick version. We're always talking about this. We're here to help you. We want to see you grow. We really are here to serve you and to take you to the next level and to help you tap into that money so it's not always the same, but huge companies tapping into it. And the one we're looking to innovate, we have programs that we're starting to use where we can track the flow of money from the prime contractor all the way down through the lower subs, so we can really hold them accountable and see how many certified companies are you really using on this project. It won't be just they're self-reporting to us. It's something that we can monitor. And so I think that's probably it for me. Yeah, I went a little over, but I can talk about this for a long, long time. But it's exciting. I've seen some great things. We're changing people's lives. It's fun to wake up in the morning and know that the work that we're doing and working with just like a lot of great people that are just really passionate about what we're doing. We don't make a ton of money. We're public servants, and we really there's got to be something that you really want to get out there and help individuals. And this has been one of the best jobs I've had in a long. I'm not even looking for the first time in my life. I'm not looking to just jump to the next promotion because I really enjoy what I'm doing.
And then just to add to your question that you asked, we do have our contracting is typically on different tiers. We might do small, medium, and large firm solicitations. So you might be able to get in as both as a small firm, or you might be reaching out to those primes that are of a higher tier and trying to work with them and be a sub on their contract. We see a lot of times on the A&E contracts, the big primes will have the sub listed on the larger contracts, and the small firms will have the big firm listed as their sub on the other contracts, and it just kind of balances out, and that's how sometimes those things work out. So you really want to make those connections with the other firms. We are trying to revamp our website, like Robert said, to hopefully showcase and solicit and show people's DBE status and other status out there so we can have a more direct connection. We're working on that, and we're going to get that hopefully right over the next year or so. So that's really about all I could say is, check the contracting and check the capacities and see what's a fit for you and who you can reach out to. Any other questions?
We're a small firm, and when we start looking for government contracts,
Do you want to tackle that one?
Sure. Okay. Sorry, I know we're at time, and I apologize. Thank you so much. So that's a really important question. You're absolutely right. There is a ton of different procurement data out there on different agency websites. There is some consistency across processes. So I do think that starting with one or two agencies, maybe at a local level, even hyper local, looking at like your city agencies or a specific county, everything's going to be a little bit nuanced, but you'll see repetition in the practices, right? There'll be overlap in certifications. You'll get very familiar with the language and the requirements because a lot of them are either federal agency public code, right? The CFAR, which is the code for federal regulations, or they're state regulations, and it's the public contract code, or it's a localized regulation, which is a city or county ordinance, right? PTAC is a great resource. I know I've said that a lot today, but I cannot undersell how much they can help people navigate that because it is easy to get lost and it is free. And even though it can be inundated and we're booked about a month in advance, it is totally worth the time and energy because then we'll give you immediate next steps, right? For you, I would recommend go to the cities, get registered in a local city, get registered on one county, start going through award data and see what did they buy at this time last year. People usually, everybody closes out around June, so you'll see contract cycles start up again like that. But get in touch with PTAC, call our office if you have to, and we can also refer you. We have really good relationships with Riverside, San Diego, and then expand as you need. Thank you guys again. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oops, sorry. I would like to introduce to you Angela Madison, a manager of Clean California, and Eusebio from District 7.
Needing a mic. I'm not used to needing a mic, but good afternoon again, everyone. And I am Angela Madison, the Clean California Education Campaign Manager for the entire state. And I have with me Eusebio from District 7. He's the Clean California Manager for all of the projects and what we call the program side. So I had to have him with me so he can give you details on the projects and that process. I'm sure that is primarily why you're here. But I do have a question before I start. How many people are aware of the Clean California Initiative? Great. That means I have a lot of work to do. It is my job to make sure that every single Californian knows about Clean California. It is a $1.1 billion initiative. It is a reactive initiative because the state has been spending millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on litter pickup. And it's not because we just are doing it for fun, it's because we are unaware, and I mean we, all of us as Californians, of what is recyclable, where to dispose our goods and trash, and even we have dump days, and I'll mention those in just a few minutes, that have been very popular. But our initiative, the plan that we have in place is very proactive, though the actual initiative is reactive because we had to stop the bleeding, if you will. So that said, I want to give you some details on Clean California, but knowing that no one has heard about the initiative, it really means, and I'm going to say this one more time, it really means I have my work cut out for me because it is my responsibility to communicate and create the awareness and the education piece of the Clean California initiative to make sure that we as Californians are not only proud of our homes, our culture, who we are, but that we're proud when we step outside. California is beautiful. We can all agree on that, right? Right? Naturally beautiful, right? So we need to preserve this natural beauty of California and its natural resources. And the first step to doing that is to be kind to California, and my very special favorite part, to be kind to one another. In doing so, we tend to create cleaner spaces, enjoy our communal spaces, and we are vested in it. So I want to get each and every one of you, by the end of our presentation today, I want to get each and every one of you excited, adopting segments of highway, so you have your vested interest that we are providing incentivized stipends for right now. I'll get into that in a moment. I think we have one for Gabriel and the crew right there. But we were out here, we had a table upstairs, or we have a table upstairs with the Adopt a Highway unit. So anyway, so we have a lot going on with Clean California, but what you're most interested in, even though I'm going to change that by the end of this presentation, but what you're most interested in is the projects. We have, right now, we have just over 200 projects that have been announced either through the State Beautification Program or the Local Grants Program, pardon me. And in those, you know what that means. We need help getting the projects completed. So I know you want to know about the RTL dates and what type of contracts we have. That's where UCBO comes in. So I said, UCBO, I need you, because he's going to have those details for you. We do have a place to go. If you could show Clean California, please. I'm sorry, I said I talk loud, but they need this for recording. So I wanted the website, Clean California website, please. You know what it is? You want to help her? So I want to show you the Clean California website, because you can see the projects that we've announced in February and in March. So for, like I said, state beautification and local grant. We do have projects even outside of that that's happening in every single district. We are moving to promote Clean California and to change behavior, the behavior of Californians, so that we can preserve our natural resources. We are moving to do that in all 58 counties. I think most of you are interested in Los Angeles and Ventura counties. We do have the information for San Bernardino and Riverside counties, Orange counties, Imperial, and San Diego. We covered all of Southern California for you today. So while they're looking for the website so I can show you where to go, do you have any questions for me? Any questions? Okay, you don't have any questions about Clean California, something you don't know anything about, have no questions. Okay, so we have, I said just a moment ago that I would go into greater detail about the Adopt a Highway. So the first question that I think many of you may have, and you just don't want to say it, I don't know why we're being shy today, but how is the $1.1 billion being spent? Go ahead. What's your name?
My name's George.
George? Hi, I'm Angela.
Do you have any contract opportunities?
Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about when I said the projects, because we need help getting those done. In order to get the projects to completion, we do have a rather expedited process with Clean California, so that's why I want to bring up the website, because you will need to constantly go there or be in touch with your Clean California manager in the district to which you have business, you do business. But there are several opportunities there. They will be advertised for the most part. There are some projects that we can handle within Caltrans, but the ones where we have to advertise for the competitive process, they're going to go up and go down rather quickly because of the expedited process that's been approved through the governor's office. Go ahead, George.
Are there like
Any prime contractors do I work with? Well,
does this initiative work?
oh yeah, the same ones Same ones we typically work with. If you are certified with the state of California, then you are eligible. So all you need to do is go through the competitive process, and we have the Department of Procurement and Contracts. Since they're not having this up here, I'm gonna go off the cuff and just speak off the top of my head on what I know. So the Department of Procurement and Contracts, or I'm sorry, I said department, Division of Procurement and Contracts is where you would go to that page, and then they have links on there that will show you projects that are available or that they're going through the bidding process. But you can, I think they're going to it. Okay, so no, that's the wrong one. But hold on. So that's not a good look. So I'm going to tell you. If you type in Division of Procurement and Contracts, Google, Chrome, it doesn't, or any of the search engines, if you type in Division of Procurement and Contracts, it's DPAC, then it'll pull up, you click on that link for their page, and on their page they have links to show you how to become a partner with the state, how to get certified. They will show all of the open bidding, you know, the ones that are open for the bidding process, and the entire procurement procedure. So you will have all of that on that site. Did they bring it up? No. Okay. So thank God I know this by memory, right? So anyway, so you go to DPAC to get the actual, you know, the information and the details of where each project is, if it's up for bidding, and so forth. Now, on the Clean California website, which is the one that was just there, can you go there, back there? Okay, so on the Clean California project, you can click on About Clean California to learn about Clean California, and then if they were to scroll down, we have sections where you can go to beautification and find out the information there, even including the project, and then there's also the local grants project, and that would be on the home page, but they're not there. So at any rate, it lists all of the projects that are under Clean California. So you can literally take that and then go to the DPAC site and figure out which one is bidding. But like I said, there's an expedited process for that. And my area is to make sure that you are aware of what's going on with Clean California and that you have a vested interest. Oh, they did pull it up. So there you go. See several. And that's just of the grant, the local grants program and the state beautification program. That's not to mention all of the projects under Clean California throughout the state. Yeah, oh wow. It's 1.1 billion, wow. So 30 million of that 1.1 billion is for the Adopt a Highway incentive stipends that many of you have heard me mention if you were up on the main floor. I spoke about that because do you know how much it costs to do Adopt a Highway? Don't answer, I know you know. Do you know how much it costs to adopt a segment? Absolutely, so you're the first, all day. What time is it right now? We need to have an award. I'll give you a cookie upstairs. I paid a lot for them. No, I'm just teasing. So thank you for that though. But it's absolutely free to adopt a segment of the highway. And all you have to do is clean it twice per month. And we're offering an incentive of $250 per segment per month. So someone said they wanted a Tesla, and I said, so you're adopting 10? That'll cover your Tesla payment and your gas. Well, you don't need gas on the Tesla. But I was teasing just to see if they really knew. But anyway, so that's the $30 million of Clean California is going towards that. Yes, you have another question? The main Clean California page? Sure, just go to home, you guys. Oh, it's cleanca.com. Cleanca.com, it switches over. Like, yeah. So this is cleancalifornia.dot.ca.gov, but if you type in Clean California, it's that page. The URL switches over to our government approved page. It automatically converts. So as soon as you type it in, it converts. Yes, clean CA. So I know many of you, because every single state and some of our territories have an anti-litter campaign. All of them have anti-litter campaigns. One of the most popular ones is Don't Mess with Texas. So hence the country music. No, I'm joking. That was California grown, and I just want us to be proud to be Californians. But again, the main focus is we have to be kind to one another, and we have to be kind to our California. We need it. We need the water resources. As you know, we're in a severe drought. So we need to keep the trash, our trash that we create, off of our roadways and out of our waterways. Yes, ma'am. What's your name? Good afternoon. Mariposa.
For the cleanup, the big issue in LA County is homeless encampments along the highways. So how do you all deal with that? Is that your purview as part of this or not?
Is this part of this? So they're recording me, but I'm very transparent. The truth is you cannot clean California without positively impacting the removal, the cleanup, the trash, so to speak, and I say so to speak because we can't say that trash is just attached to those who are experiencing homelessness. That's just not the case. That's not quantifiably or objectively the case. So, but you cannot clean California and say it will not positively impact homeless encampments or dumping areas where people typically dump. You just can't. So I don't stray away from talking about that. And we have utilized some Clean California some facets of Clean California to assist with our homeless encampment specialized program. But that part is not my purview where you get into the weeds with it, but I can be honest and tell you that piece. So we have had to get involved, but it's a long process when it comes to removing encampments or even cleaning up encampments, because you have to, once someone establishes a place of, I don't want to say residence, that's not necessarily accurate, but once that happens, it takes a process to move that or to make any progress in the area. And I know the County of Los Angeles, they were here just before me, but they are wonderful partners in making that happen. I know this is another thing I'm going to say because I know it's in your mind. I'm sure it is. I'm not saying that I'm a mind reader because that's not my purview either, but I will honestly tell you that it seems like nothing is happening, but I promise you, we have meetings upon meetings and teams going out constantly with CHP, with the advocacy groups. So it's happening, it's just slowly but surely. It's similar to what landowners complain about when it comes to having to do any type of moving with their tenants. It's a process. And so we all don't like it, but we have to, that's a part of being kind to one another. They're Californians too, whether it's mental illness or circumstance. That makes sense? I said I was never going to say it again. Do you know that is not a good look to say, does that make sense? But I do a lot of reading and studying on speaking, and yeah, that's not a good look. So, but you have me. Okay, perfect. Any other questions? Thank you for that. Yes, sir. What type of contracts? Contractors? That's a good question. Most of them are some degree of construction, not necessarily roadway construction, because we've had parklets where you have gateway entrances to cities that have been done. So it's a variety and it's widespread. Now, CBO, you probably know better than I do as far as LA and Ventura. Do you want to speak on that?
There may be landscape contracts because we're doing a lot of the beautification projects are mostly landscaping and safety enhancement projects. So there's a lot of fence building as well as like landscaping with hardscape like pebble rocks and some native plants that are being done. So yes, it's not necessarily roadway contracts, but it's more fence lines and landscape contracts. I mean, if you're a landscaper, yeah, we will. But for electrical, you know what? We will have some projects that they will establish new lighting. Like there's a project along the 105 where they're establishing new post lamps, so they will need an electrical contract. And a lot of the safety projects also have lighting. So yes, there will be electrical contracts with the safety lighting.
I need a favor. I know we're short on time, and because the previous group went longer, but there was some good information there. So I'd rather have good information shared than to push somebody off. But I need a favor. Every single time you do anything that you're proud of in California that's in a state right of way or maybe even in your front yard, and you share it on social media, can you put hashtag CleanCA for me? Hashtag CleanCA. We need to get this word out. Everybody, can you say it for me? Hashtag. Oh, that was horrible. Y'all are making my job difficult. Come on, one more time. Hashtag. All right. So on that note, if there are no additional questions, and I know that most of the questions, like I said, or most of the interest is regarding the procurement process with the projects, and it is an expedited process, so please don't let it slip by you. There's a wealth of opportunity, and we all want to see everyone take part in that. But the two takeaways, hashtag and be what? Thank you. So let's do it one more time. Hashtag and be. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce Micah Scott, Ann Hill, and Mayacel Mathis.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think everyone already has a lot of, okay.
Can you hear me now? Got it. Oh, well, thank you, everyone. I know that we're in the afternoon, so your energy is actually really good for the afternoon. I know they probably covered this, but I'm just going to say it again. So this is our Title VI program and IT policy guidelines. So Caltrans does ensure that no person in the state of California is excluded from participation in, denied the benefits of, or otherwise subjected to discrimination in Caltrans projects, policies, procedures, activities, and services on the grounds of race, color, national origin, sex, or age, and disability. So if you wanted more information on our Title VI disclaimer, there is a link on this slide. We also have an email if you do have questions regarding Title VI. We also have a brochure at our exhibitors booth if you want more information on that. So I know you guys are all here to find some opportunities or how to find those opportunities we have with Caltrans. As Lillian had mentioned, I'm from District 11. We have Ann from District 8, and we have Micah from District 7, which is LA. So we're going to give you some more information about where to find them in general. So today we hope to accomplish the following objectives, kind of going over a brief overview of the certifications we do recognize. We do have 4 certifications that we recognize, which I'll go on in the next slide. Even though this is a DBE summit, we thought we might as well cover everything. We're also going to go through briefly on the procurement and contracting processes, and then touch on where to find those opportunities, where we house them, kind of briefly navigate through it because it can get confusing depending on what type of opportunities you're looking for. And then we'll also bring it home by giving you other opportunities and resources to help you out, especially if you're starting out with government contracting in general. So what certifications does Caltrans recognize? So we have the small business or other known, which includes micro small business. It does get confusing because people hear SB, SBE. Government loves acronyms. Some of them sound similar, some of them
are related, some of them are not related. So when I refer to small business, micro small business, that is a certification recognized or certified by the Department of General Services, otherwise known as DGS. That also includes small business for the purpose of public works. That is a newer certification, but it is under the umbrella of small business. We also recognize Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, which is DVBE. This is specifically for disabled veterans that are disabled through the line of service. There are other veteran signifying certifications that sound similar, like SDVOSB or anything like that. We specifically recognize DVBE through the Department of General Services as well. And fourth, the reason why you're here is for Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, we recognize DBE. Some of you might be women business enterprise or minority business enterprise from other certifying agencies, which can fall under the umbrella of DBE. However, Caltrans recognizes DBE that is certified by one of the 10 certifying unified, what's CUCP stand for? CUCP agencies, which Caltrans is one of them. So the goals for our projects. So for small business, I mentioned it's small business, micro small business, and small business for the purpose of public works. Our overall goal, not per contract, but overall goal is 25% statewide. For DVBE, we actually have a goal of 3%. However, Caltrans likes to go above and beyond, so we actually shoot for 5%. And then for Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, you can see that is a really high percentage. It used to be around 17-ish% as of October 1st, 2022. What year is it? 2021. 2021, it raised to 22.2%. So the benefits of being DBE certified, so you'll be recognized by some of our local agencies who are federal fund recipients. So like we mentioned, you probably heard Curtis present earlier today that there are the 10 certifying agencies. I'll have a slide that shows you which 10 agencies certify so you can know if your DBE certification is the one that Caltrans recognizes. It also expands opportunities to participate on all federally funded contracts. You also have accessibility to primes that are looking to bid on these larger projects that receive the federal funds. And again, that's not only specific to Caltrans, it's for all the agencies that receive federal funding. And then another benefit that you'll have is there is a CUCP database that is housed among all 10 agencies where you can actually search for a list of certified DBEs. So if there is a prime contractor looking for a specific contractor that does landscaping or whatever it is, or an agency that's looking to do targeted solicitations or whatnot, you'll be housed in that database for someone to search for. So here are some QR codes if you want to get an idea of where you can get certified. So who certifies what? Again, Department of General Services does small business for the purpose of public works, and DVBE certifications. DBE certifications, as of March 8th, they actually allow you to do online applications. It used to be a lot longer and you'd have to snail mail all of your documents. So now that they have that online option, here's a QR code. The turnaround, I would hope, is a little bit faster, especially now that we have more certifying agencies. I'm gonna leave it a little bit so someone can take a picture of the QR code and I'll move on. Good, okay. So these are the 10 certifying agencies. If you received your DBE certification from one of these 10, these are recognized among all 10. You're in that one database that I mentioned where you can search for whoever is certified for DBE. As you can see, California Department of Transportation's Office of Civil Rights is one of them. Okay, so I'm going to touch briefly on the procurement and contracting processes. So these mainly apply to those that are not necessarily contractors, but maybe suppliers or have a good or a product or a service that can goes through our purchasers or maybe DPAC. Yes, did you have a question? Yes, certification is 100% free through all of these agencies, and that's where the misconception can be, because there are third parties that offer assistance to navigate these portals or to help with certification that associate a cost with it. But there is no fee when getting certified through these public agencies. Did that answer your question? Perfect. And might as well, while we're on the topic, for the southern region, Caltrans actually contracted with DBE Supportive Services, who is here today. I'm not sure if they're still here exhibiting, MWS. They are actually here and contracted to help certified DBEs navigate the entire process, whether it's trying to get your certification, trying to figure out how to bid on a project, basically the hand-holding you need, they will help you and assist you with that free of cost. So, yes. So they're different. So DBE certifications are they're associated to federal funds, versus with small business, you're going to look at more of state-funded contracts. So, which is what you're going to see in a little bit. We're going to show you how to navigate two different systems depending on what type of opportunities you're looking for. So it depends if you're a contractor or a consultant, if you're a supplier. There's various resources, which we'll touch on. If you still have questions, you can feel free to raise your hand. Sure. MWS for DBE Supportive Services. To help navigate through the system, us as DSBLs can actually assist with that, but MWS also can help you with finding opportunities, putting certifications, helping with bids, that type of stuff. I will have our contact information at the very end. Take a snapshot of it, and you can send me an email, and I'll give you any direct information you might need. Sure. They are, well, we have multiple contracts. Oh, they were next to, I want to say Clean California? I think they were right next to them. Excellent question. That's a company name. So, do you know, Alex? No. I'm not too sure what their acronym stands for. But Merriweather's Bonding. Yeah, that, great question. Come find me after. I'll try to find it for you. So let me touch on procurement. So briefly, when people think of Caltrans, they're often thinking about what type of stuff does Caltrans purchase. They're like, oh, maybe asphalt, maybe barriers, whatnot. We actually purchase a plethora of items, from calendars to, I've heard goats before, just very random items. If there's a need for it, we may purchase it. But I did want to keep in mind that the Department of General Services, they do a lot of the purchasing statewide. So Caltrans does have to purchase for some of their items, but because DGS does it for the entire state, there are some procurements that go under them. But before purchases can be made directly with individuals, there is a list or a series of avenues they have to venture into before they can directly contract with you. So the first place they're going to check is the surplus, see if the item is available. Then they're going to check Caltrans warehouses. Right after that, there's also Prison Industry Authority, leverage procurement agreements, and then outside vendors as yourself. So small businesses, MBs, DVBEs, DBEs, and non-certified vendors. So my word of advice, the reason why I show this to everyone that's doing procurements is not to discourage you to reach out to individuals, but when you have a direct contact with a purchaser and they're reaching out to you for a quote, you want to respond right away because they've already exhausted all their resources, and if they don't hear from you, they're on to the next person. So don't miss your opportunity. So most of our Department of Purchasing and Contracting, DPAC, as they were shared on the other website, you can find more information on the Procurement and Contracts website. The link is here at the bottom. I don't have a QR code. So dots.ca.gov/work with Caltrans. Depending on what type of service you have, they have really good information here. Under seller's resources, I know a lot of you that I met today might have IT-related items. There is 2 different categories, if it goes through, for non-IT items and IT items. This is just an example of informal solicitations that the procurement specialist will go through. If it's like less than $10,000, you can see for non-IT and IT items, they have to get 2 quotes. So there is a procurement process. This does not follow under the formal procurements that are actively advertised, which we're going to show you how to get to. These are usually the ones where I have people contact me and say, hey, how do I get in touch with the contractor? How do I deal with Caltrans directly? This would be more along your boat. There is also a minor B program. You've heard the threshold of $388,000. That's what we identify as minor B contracts. That can be more construction related, but this is for the small businesses or DBEs that want to prime a project. These are perfect opportunities. I can say for my district, District 11 specifically, minor B contracts 100% go to small business. So if you're not small business certified, chances are you're not going to get a minor B contract from District 11. And I think the other districts are trying to follow suit also. So you definitely want to get small business certified if this is something that's up your alley. You'll know it's a minor B contract. It'll have an identifier minor B right in front of the solicitation. And then again, we'll show you where you can find those opportunities. There's also emergency registry. That falls under minor B as well. When emergency strike, there's a sinkhole in the middle of the freeway, we're not going to stop and solicit the project. We're going to have someone on the spot as soon as we can get it. So if you can perform emergency work, we encourage you to get registered in our registry online. There's ecr.dot.ca.gov. List all your scopes and services that you can provide to Caltrans, and we'll have it available when there's a contract or an opportunity that arises or an emergency that arises in your area. If you're interested in District 11 specifically, we have our own internal database. Contact myself at the end of this presentation. We can get you more information on getting on that list. Okay, so where are these Caltrans opportunities listed? Here's one of them, Cali Procure. There's a QR code. This is where, if you're small business certified, you're actually registered in the system already, and you can set up your profile to get notifications on opportunities depending on what keywords you put on there, your NAICS, UNSPSC codes, or whatnot. So that is one of the first places. Any contract we have under $388,000 is going to be solicited on this website. So you can get your certifications from the same website. It's the same link. You can get registered, and you can even search a list of who's already certified if you're trying to look for someone to partner with that has that certification. You can even search bid opportunities specifically for contracts for the entire state of California. That's not just Caltrans. If you're looking for Caltrans specific projects, you're going to want to input the code 2660. Let me see if I have the screenshots. Okay, so this is what the Cali Procure website looks like. Right when you get into the screen, you'll see that you have different opportunities. The first quadrant, I guess you can say, it says sell to the state. That's going to be for a lot of great resources for those that have commodity companies or you're trying to sell a product and or service. You can get certified on the second one, find public procurement information, and find training and resources. This database is amazing because you can even find past contracts that Caltrans actively has, and you can see if they're due to expire. Usually they have a term to them, and let's say you want to do training services, and we have an existing contract for training, and it's due to expire in 6 months. You know they're getting ready to actively solicit that, so you have a 6 month running head start before they advertise for the project, how to put your bid together. So there's definitely really great resources here. But if you're looking for active solicitations, you want to go to Start Search. And then well, there you go, Start Search. You're going to put 2660 under Department. And then you'll get a list of active solicitations that are under $388,000 threshold. This is an example of a small business minor B project, CMS sign system. Again, you'll see in the specifications that it'll say you have to be small business certified. Here you have information on the specifications, when the bid is scheduled to close. Mind you, no late bids are accepted, so if it says 2 p.m. on Thursday, whatever date it is, if you submit at 2:01, your bid's not going to be accepted. So you definitely want to plan for that. You can even have an option to view vendor ads. So if you're a prime and you need subs on this project and you want to participate, you can solicit for subs to participate. Hey, I'm looking for a small business that does this and this service. Or vice versa. If you're a sub and you're looking for a prime, just look at all the vendor ads, say, okay, you know what, I really want to work on this project, but I can't prime it. Let me see if there's a prime looking to bid on it that I can get on or partner with. So that's an excellent resource. And on the flip side, Contractors Corner has something similar, which I'm going to bring Micah out to touch on. So I'll pass it to you. Unless there's any questions before I pass it off. Sure.
So some of those require a pre-bid meeting.
Yes.
So if we were to miss that, you absolutely cannot bid?
It depends. If it says mandatory pre-bid, yes. Unfortunately, if you miss your opportunity, the boat has sailed, yeah. But if it doesn't say mandatory, no. You can still bid on the project, but only if you're a prime. Primes are only required to attend mandatory pre-bids. If you're a sub, you're not required to attend. If you want to be creative, maybe you can be a sub on see a prime that participated on a project or a mandatory pre-bid and partner to be a sub. You just make sure you get your ducks in a row. Yes. So, are you talking about for the DBE certification? That would go through our Office of Civil Rights. If you stop by our booth upstairs, we have the direct email for the Office of Civil Rights that does the certification. What I would recommend doing when you email them is you can put in the subject, looking to bid a project, please expedite, whatever it is. There's no promises, there's no guarantees, but it wouldn't hurt to try. They have what's called an analyst for the day that should be responsive to those types of emails and phone calls, but I would anticipate certification for DBE, depending on the agency, can vary a few weeks. So if you're putting a bid together, I would probably err on the side of caution, just to make sure. It depends on the certifying agency, and it also depends on their queue, and depends on how many people submit it. So it varies, but because they moved from a more manual process to something more streamlined because they have the internet one, it does move quite faster than it did previously, I would like to say. All right. Yes, Leland. Yes. Typically, on mandatory pre-bids, they have to post the list of the roster of who participated at a mandatory pre-bid. From there, when you post on the solicitation, and you can reach out to all the primes that participated and perhaps submit bids for line items that you can perform. Yeah. All right, Micah.
Hello, everyone. So we're going to have all of you hit the code on your phones. The Contractor's Corner is really a good friend for you. Do you want to have access to this? So we're going to go through this website here. So the Contractor's Corner covers a lot. It covers the electronic bidding process. You create your digital ID here, and this is where in your account you can post your bids. You can see information on the projects, who is past awarded, who is been awarded. You can look up all this information, anything you want to know about the contracts. And also, this is where you would post your bid and opt in through this digital ID. Also, the projects that are advertised, you're going to see all of this in a minute. You can have access to the major construction projects, the projects that are advertised in 3 to 7 weeks, and bids that are submitted and resubmitted at any time prior to the bidding. You can do all this through your digital ID. Okay, so what's very beneficial, these tabs here is your best friend. So all of you, there are a lot of contractors in here. Are there primes or subs? A lot of primes, or you're more subs? You're prime? You're both? Okay. Yeah, the subs? Okay. So this here is where we get a lot of questions that I satisfy a lot of inquiries. How do we know where are the projects? How do we know who's the prime, who's bidding, and all this information you can get through this website. So the first general information tab is going to cover the Business Enterprise Program. That's the DBE, the DVBE, and the Small Business Enterprises. So it's going to break those programs down in that tab. Contracts under 388, as you previously heard, that value only goes up to 388. Those are minor Bs, so you can look at those specifically. And then there's the A&E contract. If anyone that is A&E contractor, that's going to send you straight to their website. And there's where their 24 look-ahead report is going to be there, and also you can access their projects listing. So we can cover the A&E opportunities. We don't have a link here on this, but it's easy find. Everything's an easy find straight through Contractors Corner. So on this page, there's two important aspects here. There's the advertisements, and there's the contract information. So the advertisements, again, is another link. There's multiple ways to get to it, but this is another link in order to see all the current advertised projects. And then to the right, for those that are interested in the architectural and engineer contracts, the look-ahead report. And this is an XLS printout. Check on this regularly because it changes often. So let's say you downloaded it on Monday and you're ready to, you say, oh yeah, I saw this project here and here it is Thursday. If I were you, I would not go by that old download, re-download it because there could be some changes. For example, the prices or what have you that's updated. So it's ongoing, it's a live list, okay? The second tab is advertisements. Here's, it's very helpful. All the advertised projects, the 24-month look ahead. You can search contracts by items. I mean, that's very helpful. That saves you a lot of time. Also, plan holders list and opt-in search. That's very beneficial. When I show a lot of people that, answers a lot of their questions, and you just do a lot of homework. This right here, I'm telling you, this section right here answers a ton of your questions. Is a good friend on the spot. Plan holders list, opt-in search, current and past advertised projects. Again, our past advertised projects is helpful. You doing your research and see who was awarded. So those that were awarded, what organizations were involved. You can also build your Rolodex, if you will. So I update myself by saying that. But you can build your Rolodex and you can see who were the primes, who were the bidders that were on these projects. All this information is listed. Everything's public. So be sure to research that, even though that maybe the list of the bid items or the project itself might not be in your wheelhouse. But be sure to build your Rolodex and network, okay? Okay, so the advertisements, this is again how this is broken down. You can just look for this week, prior weeks, next week, you know, what have you. The upcoming projects. On the bottoms, they're all advertised projects, so that's where you can get everything that's publicly listed for all districts is listed there on that link. So let me give you an example. When you do open that up, whether it's going to be this week, past week, or all advertised projects, this is what the projects are going to look like on this site. Now, it's pretty similar. It's the same thing that you would see on Cali Procure. It's a different layout. And so the projects, the first two numbers are going to state what district. So this is District 11, and they're in San Diego. And if it says 07, that would be us in Los Angeles and Ventura here. And the list of bid items, This one here is a lot of light bulbs went off when I was doing one-on-ones for people, because this is what they needed, especially their suppliers. Because the list of bid items is where the primes state what they are looking for. How much asphalt, how many mileage, how many cubic inches of what have you that they need. And that's all itemized for you. So it helps you, and it's customized, by code number that they have. So when you post your bid and you make those, put your bid information, you say item blah 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 I can fulfill. So that's very helpful, and they also see you've done your homework. The other one, project plans, notice to bidders, this all the provisions, anything you want to know about this project is here. We've highlighted the see the opt-in section on the very bottom, and I know this is kind of small, but the opt-in is where you're going to post your bid. Those that have bid on here, primes that are asking for needing help, that's all itemized, and that's here on this for this particular project advertisement. So all advertisements, anything you need to know, you want to know, prepare yourself for the bid on this project. And if the project is not in your wheelhouse, I would still research any of these projects just to see how it's laid out, so you know where to look and find, because I know bidding takes time, and this will help speed it up for you so you know where to go and look. You have any questions on this? Okay. Yes. Your wheelhouse, yeah. The best way to find?
What you need to know. If you're an electrician, Caltrans deals with most of the roads. If you're an electrician, how would I find what job I specifically would my trade?
Okay, well, also, all advertised projects are on Cali Procure as well. And when Maisel was showing how you put in the event ID, the 226 was for the department number, but an event ID, you can put in electrician. And that Department of Transportation could populate. All other agencies would populate as well. So it's not just Caltrans. Now on here, if you see the contracts, if you think by the title or what you see, the description of the contract may be relative, and you just know instinctually in your industry that you're going to be needed somewhere along the line, then that list of bid items would be a good reference to see if they're at that point where they're listing what your services are in electronics. Or you can contact the the primes, or you can contact the contract managers too. But I would go work with the primes too, because you're more like a sub. So you ask them, hey, along down the lines. But you would probably know your industry. So I would reference where you'd want to work in what areas and those districts, and check out these projects ahead of time right now and familiarize yourself with the terminology. Does that work? Does that help you? Okay. Everyone's good? The next tab is bidding. There's information on electronic bidding. Also on here, I didn't see it. It was a clip on the very top. Says for first-time bidders. So when you are a first-time bidder, any information you need on that is there on the very top of this whole section here. So again, this is the go-to place for you to start from the get-go. If you're certified, you're ready to go. This is good. If you are an A&E, this is also a good reference too. You're still just building who's who and who's doing what, and you can still reach out to them, because these primes, they're listed on those advertised projects, and just build that Rolodex. I can't emphasize that enough. The other options on here is the calendar for upcoming bid openings, and you can listen to live bid openings via phone and electronic bidding webcast. So, and then there's the bidder's guide on the very bottom. And that's very beneficial if you're brand new and you're starting out on this. Okay, and then the next tab is the awards tab. This one here is going to help you with who has been awarded in our past contracts, the award status on current projects, upcoming, and then you can search the projects by project if you happen to know their number, and you get that information. This is beneficial too, again, for networking and see who's who got these jobs, and then you know who's worked with us, and then you can pick their brain, and then they get to know you, because we hire the primes, they hire you, okay? Cost data. So the crude oil, that's the price index, and I know that's been kind of a conversation these days. So you want to keep up on that because that changes and that's updated. And the equipment rental rates, and that's also going to help with your bidding and getting your numbers. Huh? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so that's it for me. Anyone have any questions? Contractors Corner, I hope you're all familiar with it and go there. Yes, ma'am. Well, oh.
Maria over here is handing out some wonderful QR codes on this sheet of paper. I would grab one of those because it has all of them on there.
Well, thank you. If not, at the end, we can advance it and get that for you, okay? Thank you. I'm going to turn this over to Ann from District 8, San Bernardino.
So I'm here to talk about some other opportunities and resources with Caltrans. So our first opportunity, I hope you guys got over there to Maria because she's handing out a piece of paper that's talking about all of our 12 districts. All of our 12 districts have a district small business liaison. Each one of them are there. They do events. They have opportunities for small businesses, and they attend opportunities. They attend networking events and other state agencies, small business organizations. Right here today, you'll see that we have myself, District 8. We are San Bernardino and Riverside County. Maysale, she's from District 11, which is San Diego and Imperial County. And Micah, LA region. So if you need assistance from any of those, but each district has their own. To find the list, you can get that sheet of paper from Maria, or you can find the list of small business liaisons by going to our website, which is up here, dot.ca.gov. You can click on the top that says programs. That would be the first page where it says number 1. You can go to the second page. You'll scroll down. It'll be civil rights. Right there, it'll take you to the third page, which the third page, it'll say small business, district small business liaisons. And then right here, you'll go to this page, the fourth page, which have a list of all our small businesses, their contact information, their email address, their name, and those are the individuals that can help you. Businesses are encouraged to contact the Caltrans DSBL to determine that there is a current need in their district for the products and services that they offer. Caltrans purchases goods and uses purchase orders and CalCard programs. So I don't know if you guys know, a CalCard program is a program where we actually be able to use a credit card to pay you. In order for a vendor to be able to be paid by credit card, it is the law to be complete and submit a CalCard certification form to certify compliance with regulations prior to any purchases being made. Hence, if Caltrans is requesting the company to fill out this documentation, you need to fill out that CalCard certification form as soon as possible so then you can get paid by CalCard. So here we have some other opportunities. If you enjoyed this event here today, each district does events like this throughout the whole year. This is where we post our events that are happening throughout the state. So if you go to this website at the top, you'll see that these are the events. You'll have a couple of events from here from District 11 happening, District 7, District 8 is currently not on there, but we will get something on there one day soon. And you can attend these events. You can register and everything through that site, and they'll send you the link. Some of them are virtual and some of them are in person. We going fast on this page. Alrighty, so here is the site with opportunities for a mandatory pre-bid. We talked about mandatory pre-bid earlier. Mandatory pre-bid, each district assigns a couple projects in their district to be a mandatory pre-bid. Mandatory pre-bids require that the prime attend. Primes cannot bid on that project unless they attend the mandatory pre-bid. The mandatory pre-bid is an opportunity for the subs to come to the virtual or in-person event, and you can actually meet the prime, let them know what type of products or services you offer, and connect with them during that event. So if you see this word that right underneath the contract number, the project number, it says this is a mandatory pre-bid meeting. If you see that under that, the project number, then you know that that is an opportunity for you to go and meet the prime that is bidding on that project, because they are required to attend. If they do not attend, they cannot bid. Alrighty, here are some other opportunities. One of our other opportunities is called the Cal Mentor Program. Currently, there are 9 of the 12 Caltrans districts that have implemented a Cal Mentor Program. The program is designed to encourage and support small businesses throughout the voluntary partnership with mid-size and large firms. Specifically, the program aims to increase the participation of small architectural and engineer, or A&E firms, in public transportation projects. To learn more about this closeness Cal Mentor Program to you, visit the link at the bottom of the slide and select the district you would like to work with. So if you go to our site, at the bottom of the slide, you'll see that there's these districts here that have the Cal Mentor Program. Click on that district that you want to mentor and join. One of our other opportunities is the Small Business Council. Everyone is encouraged to participate in the Small Business Council. Let me put up the link here so you can see that part right there. So when you participate in the Small Business Council Trade Association, you are able to give comments and feedback on Caltrans policies and practices that affect and impact small businesses' utilization and participation of Caltrans contracts and projects. Caltrans uses external advisory committees to develop solutions to the state's transportation problems and to disseminate information regarding specific Caltrans projects and programs, and to provide a forum for interaction discussions with interested parties. The Small Business Council meetings are held bi-monthly basis and are currently being held virtually. However, meetings can be held in person at very hosted districts. If you are interested in participating and becoming a member, please reach out to Carol Ching with the Office of Civil Rights. And there you go. She has her contact information, and her email address is carol.ching@dot.ca.gov. Now this comes to the conclusion of our session. So if you have any questions, you may ask them now while District 7 and District 11 are here. Or you can email either one, District 7, District 8, District 11, preferably District 7 or 11 at this current time, until we get a permanent small business liaison for District 8. And you can get your questions answered. But if you have any questions currently, right now, please ask them. If not, thank you for coming. We appreciate you guys.
If I may, I just wanted to put a quick plug when Anne was mentioning the events. Each one of you received the top 5 resources. If you scan the QR code